I don't know, who's it favoring?
I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older now or what, but I feel like Gervonta is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to get his mental together. When I hear some of his interviews and I see some of the stuff that he's saying, I can just tell that he's not in love with the sport no more. I can tell that he didn't get it.
Who would you like to see Gervonta face next after this?
I would like to see Gervonta fight for a world title.
Against who?
Is he at 135, right?
135, 140.
Oh, only one champ at 135, and that's Devin Haney. So
Tank has always had his critics, but one of the most vocal comes from Claressa Shields. The two-time Olympic gold medalist and undisputed champion in several weight classes hasn't held back in sharing her thoughts on Tank. She believes he's been overhyped by the boxing world and doesn't live up to the massive praise he gets. After Tank's controversial draw with Lamont Roach, she had more to say on the matter.
I mean,
we gotta think before we.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think that Tank is a great fighter and Roach is a great fighter, and they both had a good fight. I think Tank is going through things that we don't know that he's going through mentally, so that's why I kind of like don't want to. I think that whenever I say something about him, it goes viral and then they make it a way for us to beef or whatever.
Pile on.
Yeah, and it's more of like I ain't got to be friends with him, but I don't hate the dude, and I wish him well. I think that if he get his mental together, he'll fight better.
Many fans expected Tank to easily dominate in his fight with Roach, but things didn't go as planned. Instead, Davis put on a shaky performance that made people question if he was really as great as he was made out to be. Claressa Shields wasted no time jumping in with her opinion. Right after the fight, she said, might be the perfect time for Tank to finally get that therapy he wanted. If he can get his mind right, he can get back in the game. This wasn't just a casual comment. Shields was being strategic. Tank had talked about therapy before, saying it could help him handle the pressures of boxing. Shields took that opportunity to call him out right after a fight that raised doubts about his reputation. It was a direct shot at him, and definitely not the last one.
Never laced up, and you think Shakur got to prove something to you. You sound stupid. Go glove up first. I done seen that boy do some miraculous things inside of a gym. Beat guys up from his weight class all the way up to 178.
Because the big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
And you gonna go crazy in that?
Yeah, let me call it.
Tank wasn't about to let that slide, though. It didn't take long for him to respond, firing back with, "How's some woman boxer going to think she can take down a male professional boxer? The fact that some grown woman thinks that is just one reason why I don't even have something to say. Can't start throwing words with a deluded woman." It was classic Tank, straight to the point, dismissive, and ready to turn up the heat. But Claressa Shields isn't someone who backs down easily. For years, she said she could beat male boxers, including Tank. She sparred with them, trained with them, and has always been clear that she believes most of them, Tank included, wouldn't stand a chance against her. Shields has been vocal about this for years. Back in 2019, she confidently stated that she could take down Keith Thurman and even claimed she could challenge Gennady Golovkin. She wasn't just looking for headlines, she genuinely believes it. When it comes to Tank, her opinion is even more intense. She views him as a smaller fighter, someone she could break down with her superior skills and experience. Shields has always said the size difference between them is overrated. "I spar with men all the time, I drop them, I bust their noses," she once said in an interview. While she doesn't claim she can beat every man, she's certain that certain fighters, like Tank, aren't as untouchable as they think. In fact, she even believes younger fighters like Keith Thurman and Sean Porter would give Tank a tough time.
Would you actually would you still favor Gervonta over Keyshawn right now, and why?
No, I mean, it'd be a really good fight, but like I said, Tank got a lot of stuff that Keyshawn had to go against, but Keyshawn got something that you can't take, and that's that self-belief in himself. He got that dog, he got a good chin. He coming to fight you, he don't care what you're doing. Like, that's a dangerous fighter who's not scared to lose, who's willing to go out on a shield. Keyshawn's a hard fighter to beat.
This isn't the first time Shields and Davis have clashed. Their rivalry has been simmering for years, sparked by constant back and forths on social media. Things got especially personal last year when Davis insulted Shields' looks, calling her a French bulldog. Shields didn't hold back in her response, hitting him where it hurt by bringing up his past legal issues. "I'm so happy you think I look like a French bulldog because you only beat up the ones you think are cute," she shot back. It was a savage reply that had fans talking for days.
Tank. I am so happy that you think I look like a French bulldog and you consider me ugly.
Shields has never been a fan of the way Tank carries himself in the sport. She's been open about how much of his success is tied to having Floyd Mayweather in his corner. To her, Tank was never truly self-made. He was guided, protected, and built up by one of the greatest boxers ever. She even said, "If you ain't had Floyd right there holding your hand, I don't know where you would be at." That comment stung, playing into one of the biggest criticisms Tank has faced, that he hasn't fought the toughest competition and has been carefully guided through his career. But Tank has already made it clear, he feels like he's accomplished everything he set out to do.
Made them box. I had to box. I had to get myself out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was coming to, I didn't say I'm gonna be this
champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself. Cause I already, you feel me?
What really seems to frustrate Shields the most is how some people treat Tank like he's unbeatable. She's made it clear that she doesn't buy into that myth. The Roach fight only gave her more reason to speak up. A draw against a fighter most people thought Tank should have easily beaten. Shields saw that as all the proof she needed to show that he isn't as great as people think. When she made her comment about therapy, it wasn't just about his mental health. She was questioning his entire career and the image that's been built around him.
Real to him. I got more Olympic gold medals than him. He can't say that I can't box.
Yeah.
So what else he gonna say? Man, she ugly. And you're short. So it'd be like, when he went that route, and I've been like an advocate for him, like when he got into the trouble, I didn't share nothing.
But Shields wasn't done yet. It seems like she's not going to let the controversy around Tank's fight with Lamont Roach Jr. fade away. To Shields, the whole situation just confirmed what she's believed for years. Tank is a dangerous fighter, but he's also just another pretty boy in the sport, overhyped and not as great as people make him out to be. And, even worse, she believes he's making excuses. Shields took particular issue with Tank complaining about grease in his hair affecting his performance. Grease? You're worried about grease? A lot of boxers fight with blood in their eyes, she fired back. To her, it was almost laughable that someone with Tank's reputation was focusing on something like that. This was supposed to be the most feared knockout artist in boxing, the guy who could knock anyone out with a single punch. And now he was talking about his hair? Shields made it clear that real fighters push through way worse. If Tank wanted to be seen as a true warrior, he needed to start acting like one. And while Tank's fans might not agree with her, this point resonates with many people.
Can bang, can box, and I think that he's a better boxer than Tank. Now, is he a knockout artist? No. But that fight, Shakur got enough power and the skill set to where he can offset some stuff with Tank. Tank knows that. And if Shakur's so easy to beat, Tank should just fight him.
Shields didn't stop there. The two-time Olympic gold medalist kept breaking down the fight, explaining why she thought Roach had done enough to win. One judge had Tank 115 to 113, and the others had it even at 114 to 114, but I believe Roach won the fight because that knee he took was 100% a knockdown, Shields argued. She pointed out that she wasn't the only one who felt this way. Many in the boxing world believe the referee made a mistake by not calling that moment a knockdown. Shields made sure to remind everyone that if the roles had been reversed, with Tank in Roach's position, the call would have been different. But Shields wasn't just talking about this one fight. She was using it to make a bigger point she's been stressing for years. Tank has always been protected. She said it before, that he's been given favorable matchups. Now, with a controversial draw against Roach, she felt she had even more proof. They've been doing this for him, she said. When it's a real fight, they make sure it doesn't go against him. While she didn't directly call it a robbery, she made it clear that she believed Tank got lucky, just like he always has.
Really that good or not, the cream is going to rise to the top regardless. So even though your career is manufactured, you still got to go out there and win. Even though you're getting these opportunities, you still got to make them count. Every opportunity they gave to Tank, most of the time it ended in a knockout. So he made it count. The thing is, the entire time he was a protected fighter, the entire time. So now you're at the mountaintop, people looking at you like you Floyd Mayweather, you Pernell, you Roy, like you pound for pound. They're looking at you like you are.
And Shields wasn't alone in her take. Shakur Stevenson had been waiting for a moment like this. He jumped on X after the fight, gloating, "I made at least 20K tonight on Lamont." He had predicted that Roach would give Davis trouble, and when asked who he thought would win, Stevenson didn't hesitate. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, he said, "We're going to see if Tank really wants this fight now. I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this."
All the talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his, was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even going to shit on her, but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't going to shit on him.
Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I told him I won.
You told him I won. Got you.
Even Terrence Crawford weighed in, not one to hold back when it comes to Tank. After the fight, Crawford bluntly stated, "Roach won. And that should have been called a knockdown. Let's see what happens." Crawford has never been shy about sharing his opinions on Davis, and this time was no different. Like Shields, he saw the whole situation as another example of how boxing politics tend to work in favor of certain fighters. Davis, for his part, wasn't about to start taking advice from Shields, Stevenson, Crawford, or anyone else. "Y'all just some haters," he said in response to the criticism. But Shields wasn't done. She reminded everyone that this wasn't the first time Tank had looked vulnerable. She pointed to his fight with Isaac Cruz, where he went the distance and had people questioning whether he was really as unbeatable as his record suggested. "Ain't nothing new," she said. "Every time he fights someone real, it's a struggle."
I don't think Pitbull deserves a rematch.
Really? So the fight wasn't as good that you could do a rematch?
It was one of Tank's better fights, if not his best fight. Does that mean they grant him a rematch?
But that's probably his toughest opponent that he's had.
The feud between Shields and Davis has always been heated, but this time it feels like it's reached a whole new level. Shields isn't just calling out Tank, she's tearing down his entire reputation, piece by piece. And with fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Terrence Crawford backing her up, the noise isn't going away anytime soon. What's interesting is that none of what Shields is saying can really be called hate. As much as she's attacking Tank, there's a lot of truth in her words. What fans seem to dislike isn't her points, but how confidently she stands up to male boxers.
Ryan, you're just fast, Ryan,
I will
and you're
literally
actually
hit
big.
you in your temple so bad you won't even know what hit you.
Okay, Ryan, so when you gonna come do it?
Nah, it'll be I'll be there with smelling salts.
I'm asking a question. Because
Yeah, have the
I
smell.
got,
We're
a
gonna
boxing,
get
I got a boxing ring at my gym, and if you
You got dropped by a no name.
Ryan, you talking about something that was 5 years ago. I'm happy you brought that up.
About to have kids.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Claressa Shields rarely sees eye to eye with Tank, but when she came across that viral footage of him refusing to engage in a street fight, she had something to say. For once, it wasn't just straight-up criticism. Instead, Shields used the moment to make a bigger point, one that, on the surface, seemed to put her and Tank on the same side. But knowing Shields, it wasn't that simple. It never is. The two-time Olympic gold medalist has made it clear that she doesn't respect Davis the way much of the boxing world does. So, was this a rare moment of unity, or was Shields just playing mind games, making sure her criticisms always seemed fair before going back to tearing him down?
And if he's to be successful, how would he do that?
To be Tank?
Yeah.
Now you want me to give somebody the game plan on how to be Tank?
You would be a great trainer because you have the skill.
Don't like me, so I ain't gonna get nobody the recipe.
The video showed a man approaching Davis, acting like a fan at first, then suddenly switching tactics and trying to bait him into a street fight. It wasn't some random challenge. This was straight-up clout chasing. The guy was looking to prove something, maybe even get a viral moment, but Davis wasn't having it. Tank knew better. He didn't engage, didn't react, and didn't entertain it. The guy eventually gave up and walked away, throwing in a half-hearted, "God bless, man," as if that somehow made the whole thing any less pathetic.
Hey Davis, right? What's good, brother? Hey man, I was just trying to catch a friendly fade with you. I know you do all that boxing shit. You feel me? For some money. I got money. You ain't the only one with money. Like a little fade. Something that's not orchestrated on live TV, but just on some hood shit. I put belt to ass. Well, God bless, man. It looked like you turning down the fade. God bless. Jesus is good, or whatever. Whatever you worship, Buddha, all that. I'm a Zoe. God bless everybody. Y'all look very uncomfortable. It's not that deep. All right, bye.
Shields saw the clip and reacted instantly, tweeting, "See, that's why I trashed that troll up. Stop playing all the time." She was reminding everyone of a time when she had to deal with something similar. But here's where it got interesting. Shields wasn't just making a general point. She was making sure people knew that, unlike Davis, she wouldn't have walked away. She wasn't defending Tank so much as drawing a line between them, letting everyone know that while he might back down, she never would.
When they want, Shakur and Tank, that's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is be mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
You gonna go crazy in that?
Y'all be calling me ugly for real then?
Do you think that's a 50-50?
I'm not gonna ever dismiss a fighter. I think that Tank got some great skills and got some hard ass punches. Mm-hmm. He's so explosive, but so is Shakur. Yeah. Shakur has, to me, faced harder challenges.
That's the thing with Shields. She's never just being neutral. Even when it looks like she is, there's always a deeper meaning to what she's saying. She made it clear that she has no patience for people treating professional fighters like they're NPCs in a video game, like they're supposed to fight on command just because someone walks up to them. "I'm going to piece him up. Just sign his waiver," she added. That last part wasn't just about random street fights, it was a deeper shot at Tank. Shields was making it clear that she wouldn't need an excuse to throw hands, and that's one of her biggest criticisms of Davis.
Tank said something to me. I said something to him. He said something back to me. I said something back to him. He got angry. And that's what it is. I'm a fan of his boxing. He's a great boxer. Needs to fight more stiff competition for sure. But hey, he's great in his own right.
Shields sees Tank as someone who gets too many excuses, and she wasn't about to let this situation pass without subtly making that clear. It all ties back to what she's been saying about Tank for a while now. She doesn't see him as the unstoppable force that many of his fans do. To her, he's just another boxer who's been overhyped, protected, and given too much room to make excuses. That's exactly how she felt about his reaction to the Lamont Roach Jr. fight.
And we're entitled to our own opinion, our own thoughts, our own feelings, and I just, he said something to me. I said what I said back. It is what it is. I ain't got nothing against. Hey, man, I'm all about positivity and prosperity, baby. I ain't got nothing against nobody.
After the fight ended in a draw, Tank had a lot to say about what went wrong. He wasn't happy with the judging and complained about Roach's tactics. To Shields, that was just another excuse, a way for Tank to avoid taking full responsibility, and she wasn't having it. But Shields wasn't just focused on the Roach fight. She was making a bigger point about Davis himself. This wasn't just about one bad night, it was about how she's always seen him. Shields has never been shy about saying she believes she could beat Tank in a fight, and that's not just trash talk. She genuinely believes it. If anything, she thinks she should be getting more credit for her skills.
What do a woman gotta do to get to where Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia and Canelo are at? What else can I do as a woman fighter? I beat everybody. I said that in the article. I fought the best. 3-time undisputed. 3 division world champ. I fought at 68, 60, and 54. Beat the best that there was at the weight classes. What else? Listen to me. What else can I do to become the face of boxing?
For years, Shields has seen Tank as a fighter who's too small, too hyped, and not nearly as invincible as his fans believe. She's made it clear that, in her mind, Tank isn't someone who dominates his opponents. He's someone who gets favorable matchups. And when he finally struggles, instead of owning it, he looks for excuses. That's what made this moment so interesting. On the surface, it seemed like Shields was standing up for Davis, calling out people who try to challenge professional fighters on the street. But in reality, she was using that moment to once again separate herself from him. She was saying that while Tank might walk away from a fight, she never would. While Tank might complain about grease in his hair, she would fight through blood in her eyes.
Really in there, man. I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the. Yeah, I've been telling y'all that.
To top it all off, Shields made sure to remind everyone that, despite everything going on, she was still in the game. She mentioned that the Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission had just lifted her suspension after she tested positive for the chill leaf following her heavyweight championship fight against Danielle Perkins. That wasn't just a random update, it was her way of reinforcing her point. Even with setbacks and controversy, she was still fighting. That's what she's always seen as the biggest difference between herself and Tank. She's had to prove herself over and over again, taking tough fights, moving up in weight, and dealing with constant criticism. Tank, in her eyes, has been protected. And that's why this beef isn't going anywhere. Even when it looks like there's a moment of unity, it's just another setup for Shields to remind the world why she doesn't respect Davis the way others do. This isn't ending anytime soon. What do you think? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.